This time on Graveyard Carz, we disassemble the 1969 General Lee Charger from the Dukes of Hazzard movie.
Cut it to the left, Daren!
Trying, okay, buddy.
Daren and I compete against Mark and Royal in a teardown race.
I'm being punished, and I have to work with Josh.
Mark and Royal check out a shop that could become the new home of Graveyard Carz.
Oh,
again,
mackerel.
perfect.
And things escalate to an all-new low.
I showed Mark both cheeks.
I just hope someone doesn't get hurt. Mark wins.
On this episode of Graveyard Carz.
Got that car coming to get you, Barbara.
The unburied dead are coming back to life.
I'm Mark Warman, and together with the most critical man in the world, Daren Kirkpatrick,
Give me a gun!
my son-in-law, Josh,
Oh, yeah!
and my best friend, Roy,
Well, all right.
we bring dead muscle cars back to life, to exactly the way they were on the day they were born, if we don't kill each other.
It's gonna be a bloodbath.
I got two left-hand windshields, I think.
I'm just gonna set these down here, okay?
Yeah, they're awful heavy. This Mark.
We got work to do, buddy.
Okay, so it's got, see. But
What was that?
you, my friend, are on a need-to-know basis. Whoop! So the phone call I just got was from a realtor I've been working with here in town. We just can't do this anymore. I mean, I'm dancing between cars like Michael Jackson out here. I'm stepping in dog crap, cat crap, cutting my pants on the edge of a quarter panel that's sticking out. We just need more room. So that guy was just telling me about what he thinks is the perfect spot. He knows exactly what I'm looking for. It fits our budget. So we can move our studio and Graveyard Carz into one facility and be less money per month.
Did you dye your hair again?
Why is your problem?
What's your hair? I can tell in the light. Looks like you've dyed it.
This is a natural hue. Why do you say that?
Orange or yellow on the top is natural?
Yeah, you know what? It is natural, okay? I have a low vitamin C
Maybe on
deficiency.
a clown.
Now get the f***ing moldings yourself. So here's what's happening on Carol's car. The upholstery guy's gonna come out and he's gonna start doing his work next week. That means we've got to have all the wiring in place, all the dynamat in place, the steering column, all the gauges, everything in place so he can start buttoning up the interior, get the roof piece done on it. Once that's done, then we can go back to the chrome and the glass and the last little bit of exterior. So just focus on wrapping up the interior. Joe and Carol Headley have been clients of Welby's Car Care and friends since I hung my shingle in '85. We've worked on their Corvettes, we worked on their 4Runners, we worked on their little Dakota pickups. We even painted a boat for them, a river boat one time. They are a part of the Graveyard Carz, Welby's Car Care family. They had approached me a couple of years ago about helping them out with their 1930 Chevrolet sedan. It wasn't my cup of tea necessarily, but what do you say when it's family and when you know it means as much as that car means to them? And the second I see you take a breath, what looks like a breath to me, I'm gonna come yank you off of it and put you on the next one.
Awesome. I got a day.
We got cars that need to come apart. We have no room to do that in. The very first step we're gonna have to take is cleaning out the West Coast Metal Building awning area so we have somewhere for the parts to go when the cars are disassembled. I'm out there peacefully trying to get this place cleaned and organized so that the guys have a place to work on the 68 Charger. And what happens, you got Daren not doing work, you got Josh goofing around, you got Royal walking around in that 60s haze. I'm the only guy working.
When I hear the forklift start, I see Mark in the seat, I get scared because he drives the forklift crazy.
Oh yeah, 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 show people, shut your hole.
He's dangerous with that forklift.
So here's our 1930 Chevrolet we've been dealing with for quite a while. When we brought it in, we chopped 4.5 inches out of it. We widened the rear fenders 4 inches, brought the running board out in the back to match so it keeps a nice kind of clean lines. And we've redone the whole dash. That's all being cut up, welded and smoothed out for the new gauges. It's still got a lot of wood framing behind the sheet metal skin. All our rear inner structure, as you can see, is all wood. The whole roof center is wood. They're sticking with the V6 that they installed in it several years ago, so it'll just be a nice, clean driver.
You're on, Mark, you're good.
Okay, you're gonna have to pull that fork out of there.
I got it.
I don't try to make things crazy around here. They just get that way all on their own.
Well, why don't you let your forks down?
Mark, I'll get it.
Trying to. I need.
Dude,
I just need 2 seconds.
pull out. I will pull it out by hand. Just
I need
go.
2 seconds,
Go.
and I'll pull it out.
He was going crazy. He was yelling at every single one of us. Mark was a lunatic.
Damn losers. Where'd he go?
Mark is the most quick-witted person I have ever met.
You.
To challenge him in a game of wits, you're gonna lose. I don't care who you are. So, unfortunately, that was the only thing that I could think of. I got caught up in the moment. I showed Mark both cheeks. Pasty white butt cheeks.
Oh, Mark!
I can see.
Mark!
You just got docked $100, wise ass. 2 more, and it's another 100. You want to? That's it. $200 dock right there.
One of the things different on this car for what we normally do is it's an aftermarket wiring harness. So it's completely starting from scratch. We have to come up, mount our fuse panel, find our locations for that. Just dealing with it, laying it all out, getting it where it needs to go, and then getting it all tucked in. Usually, in most cases, it's a lot nicer than the factory wirings.
Are you done?
You are.
Say you are again and see what happens.
You are.
But we're
I never annoy Mark on purpose, and if I do, it's to better him. Because I'm trying to let him be a bigger and better individual. He seems to be getting bigger on his own, but maybe not better. Maybe he needs to try salad again once in a while. You already got me.
Well, he's on one today. It never ceases to amaze me, even though we fight, we bicker, we argue like little high school girls, we still manage to pull together and work as a team and get stuff done.
Even though Mark was being his usual pain in the bottom, Josh is flashing his bottom, we managed to get the awning cleared out. We're ready for the 68 Charger to be moved in, start disassembling.
Everything's getting close. We finished the wiring. We've got the sound deadener in it. Our top should be here in a couple days. Same with the glass, so we're getting close to being able to finish this one up. To see them driving this again will be really nice.
Right now, we've got a few cars that need to get disassembled, inventoried, and sent up to the dipper. As a motivation to keep everybody working hard and working fast, we put together a little bet. Who can disassemble a car faster? So what I did was I stuck Daren and Josh on the 68 6-cylinder Dodge Charger to get it disassembled, while Royal and I worked on the 1970 Dodge Challenger RT factory 440 car. If we get both of our jobs done in any kind of a reasonable time, we can then go on to the General E, get it disassembled, get it in the queue to go up north. So that's the plan.
We're going to tear apart the 68 6-cylinder Charger. I'm being punished for some unknown reason, and I have to work with Josh.
Well, Mark is at a huge advantage because not only does he have Royal, he also has the bin pack.
Am I doing okay?
Hang on, dude. Hang on.
That's not fair putting them two together to disassemble a car because Daren doesn't do much and Josh isn't that knowledgeable.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to teach them. I'm trying to train them. I'm trying to give them logical, practical experience that they can use without me being there to pick up the pieces.
Tired of you.
Ah! There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
I don't know what Daren's on today. I think he chugged like a 6-pack of energy drinks or something, but
I'm doing pretty good, actually.
he's going crazy.
The coolest thing about the car that we're doing right now, it's a 1970 Dodge Challenger RT. It's factory 440 Magnum automatic, non-air conditioning, but it's plumb crazy with a black longitudinal stripe and a white vinyl top. So that's the factory color combination. What makes it really unique is that it is the sister to a 1970 Dodge Challenger RT that's a factory 440 Magnum automatic on the column, TX9 black with a black top and black leather interior, but it's not an SE. The two cars are sequentially VIN'd. The last 6 digits of this VIN number are 411030. The last 6 digits of the 1970 that twin to it outside is 411031. That means that these cars were sitting on the assembly line, pilot, co-pilot, front to back. They left the assembly line completely for different destinations. The black car ended up in Washington State. This car ended up on the East Coast. Somehow they migrated back together at Graveyard Carz 40 plus years later. Serendipity.
Yeah, I think Mark is just setting us up for failure so that he wins the contest at all costs.
So getting ready to put the V21 blackout on the hood of the 72 Charger.
Lift it up!
We are out of room at Graveyard Carz, and I'm juggling Dung Beetle. Right now, Royal and I are competing to get our Challenger RT disassembled, while Dung and Dunger are working on getting the 68 Charger disassembled. So far, we're winning, but we will have to stay on task.
You got any drill bits?
Royal, you know I have a complete set of drill bits, sir. If that's already
Will you go
broken,
get them?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm tired of that, too. Every time we work together, and next thing you know, I'm your I'm running all over the place getting your tools for you.
Oh,
and you're just standing there getting fatter.
What do you, yeah, look who's talking. Chubbs.
What?
Chubbs.
You're calling me Chubbs?
Yeah.
Why are we doing it backwards? Well, we always drop them out the bottom.
Well, Daren, this is what I was trying to tell you before,
Well, I
man,
couldn't.
that-
Well, okay, I'm with you now.
CD, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to dismantle the motor from the K-member and take the transmission off of it as well.
But I'm wondering why, if it's tall enough, why won't it come out just like the others if this is tall enough?
We're really not gonna have that much room to work with since we've got the hoist here. Okay, so right now, Daren and I kind of hit a roadblock. We're really unsure if we're gonna have enough room to pull the engine and the K-member out from underneath the car, or if we're gonna have to dismantle the engine from the transmission and the K-member and just use the forklift as a hoist to lift off the K-member and the transmission up top.
Yeah, I think Mark is just setting us up for failure so that he wins the contest at all costs, no matter how long it takes us to take the car apart or what we have to do to get the car apart.
Why do you think I chose this car? We've been parting this thing out for the last 3 years, borrowing pieces off of it.
Oh.
Times I get it confused with Darren's car.
I just don't know what you want to do here, okay? I guess.
I mean, unless you wanna stick your hands and stuff in between this area here.
10, 15 years ago, they wouldn't even fix anything like this. Mark would. I mean, he's always fixed the worst off cars just to keep them alive.
This car, look here, you can actually see the original black longitudinal stripe still on the quarter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
So somebody painted it, took it from the original FC7 Plum Crazy, painted it silver, which is bizarre, but saved the longitudinal stripe. Why? I mean, purple's so much prettier.
People did that.
Purple was the #1 color. Did you know that? The #1
Yeah.
color on all Challengers in 1970.
I remember you saying that.
Why would you take a Plum Crazy, white vinyl top, black longitudinal stripe, houndstooth interior car, and do this to it? Why would you do that? That person should be executed.
Josh and I are working on a 68 six-cylinder Dodge Charger, and everything is getting worse and worse and worse. No matter where we turn, what we do, it is just getting to be downright dangerous. We've got tires underneath the car trying to get it up higher in the air so we get the transmission out from the bottom. So we need to stop now, cut our losses before someone does get hurt.
Well,
It's not gonna come down, but I don't want you to get hurt, okay? It's not worth it.
Well, see, the thing is, too, is that we have to have the forklift here for safety purposes.
Royal was getting out of his paper route. That's how I met him.
Now, where are you gonna
Here
go?
I am. I'm 12 years
Where are you
old.
gonna go with this?
Dad's dead. Figure it's time to step up and start helping support
What
the
about your
family
bad
a little
foot?
bit.
Don't forget your bad foot.
I had a tumor in my right foot too, and Osgood slaughter. Met Royal because he was bailing out on a paper route. I already had two, and the guy Dave, what was it? Harding.
Dave Harding.
Dave Harding
I'm surprised
from the
you remember
Register
that.
Guard called me up, says, "Hey, how'd you like to take on another route?" Yeah, more routes. Give me 100 routes. You know. I meet Royal because he's bailing out, and I ask him one day. He's showing me the
I've had
route
mine
where
for 3
everything's
years.
at, and I say, "Hey, how come you're giving up your route, dude? Don't you need any?" You know what I'm saying? A little. Says he needs his space more. You're 12 and you're balding. What space do you need? I'm just saying. That's how I met the guy. You know. But we're friends now, and yeah. In it. That?
You know, at this point right now, Daren and I, we're wasting more time on getting this thing lifted up in the air. There's hazards all the way around. This thing could fall and crush one of us. And I mean, honestly, we're gonna have to pull the plug on it.
We're not gonna do it. It's just ridiculous. We got a jack wedge behind the rear tires, keep the forklift from rolling down the hill. We lose. We concede. We're gonna give it up for safety purposes.
Yep.
We'll take one for the team, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We get it up in the air like this and compromise the safety of Josh and myself. We're not going to do it. Game over. Mark wins. Okay?
Yeah.
Chalk one up for Mark, okay?
Yep, there's going to be a limb lost in this whole entire thing, and it ain't going to be mine, and it sure as hell ain't going to be my buddy Daren's. You know, I care about this guy too much.
How's the weather?
What's that mean?
Yeah, what do you mean by that, Mark?
Outside?
Why are you in here?
Because it's ridiculous outside.
You win.
What?
You win.
You
win.
guys aren't
we
really
can
quitting,
see.
are you?
You win.
What's
guys
the
won.
problem?
Okay,
Lots
is
of
it,
problems out there.
have you not seen it outside?
Are you really quitting?
You know what, man? I would honestly love to see you out there doing what we're
You know what? Me
trying
and Royal
to
did
do.
our time doing that
Attempting.
stuff. Me and Royal did ours.
Mark, where's all the parts at?
Right there, man.
Where's the engine and transmission and doors and
doesn't
hoods
have
and
an engine
fitters?
You've taken all morning to get that. So Daren and I forfeited to Mark and Royal just to find out that they had a small tote full of parts. And we're out there, you know, busting our tails trying to get this thing lifted up in the air so that we can get the engine and transmission dropped.
And our car ran and drove, was complete, 100% complete car. We come in here and they're disassembling just a parts car. No front end, no interior, no engine, no transmission. And they think it's a fair contest. It's not a fair contest. As usual, Mark is going to win. We're going to lose because it was all rigged. How could they take a car apart with no air? Because they weren't taking nothing apart. What was the first model year of the all-new Plymouth Duster? Was it 1969, 1970, or 1971? The answer after the break. So what was the first model year of the all-new Plymouth Duster? The correct answer is 1970. The Duster turned out to be not only a home run for Mopar, but also to the consumer. Depending on your wants and needs, you could purchase a 1970 Plymouth Duster with the economical slant 6 all the way up to 275 horse 340. That's what made the Duster such a success.
Visit graveyardcars.com to learn more. We've been competing to see who can get their car torn down first. Josh and Daren have given up. As soon as we have the Challenger disassembled and off the rack, we will go over and help Josh and Daren disassemble the 68 Charger, but only if they help us first.
There's like absolutely nothing on this car.
Can we let it down yet?
No, Daren.
Josh and I realized and discussed the dangers that were going on if we continue with that 68 Charger disassembly. So we decided if we lose the contest, so what? We're just going to bunch it at this point in time. So we walked inside to concede, to give Mark his moral victory. And they were working on a car that was halfway apart to begin with. So the contest was rigged. It was never fair to begin with, as usual.
No.
Right? Royal's back here farting, Mark, and thinks he's funny.
I think it's hilarious, Royal.
Royal's not very smart. I've told you that many times.
Well, I'm not very smart.
What?
Right.
Obviously, because I keep coming back here. Crazy, man, with that.
So the Challenger went really well. It's got completely disassembled. They're outside now with the Aladdin, giving it a good pressure wash so we can get it ready to go up to the dipper. The 68 Charger needs moved around here. I don't know how far the guys got on it. I hope they got a ways, so it'll save us some time anyway, because we got to get that one done today too.
You know, it was sure nice once we got the car up on the bin pack. It was so much easier, and the main thing, it was safe. It was not a wise decision to have us out there working out in the rain with improper equipment. And I think Josh and I made the right decision in stopping before someone did get hurt outside. Mark, how long are you gonna milk that shackle for?
Anytime you want to come under here, Mary. Anytime. You guys had to give up out there. You shouldn't be talking to me. You guys are the ones that had to give up out there.
This way is so much safer using the bin pack than what we're trying to do outside. You know, it was just a merry-go-round outside with Josh and myself. It was never gonna work out. It was gonna be unsafe in the end.
You know, with all of us working together, it was a snap of a finger and it was done. You know, compared to Daren and I working out there for hours on end, just trying to come up with a plan on how to drop the engine down without injuring himself or myself. So we got it done. Everybody's in a great mood, and now we're moving on to the next step.
Now that we got the 68 Dodge Charger disassembled and inventoried and the sister 1970 Dodge Challenger 440 Plum Crazy car, I can actually go back and start doing some of the things that, let's just say, only I can do, or at least only I trust myself to do, such as graphics. Right now we're in the paint booth. I'm getting ready to put the V21 blackout on the hood of the 72 Charger. This is the yellow car. Now this is a little bit different than what we've done in the past. In the past, like on our purple sunroof Challenger, we took a decal from Phoenix Graphics, we used a solution, we applied the decal, pulled the backing paper off, and we were done. The reason we did it that way is because from the factory, it was a decal. The blackout on the hood, the V21 on these Chargers, is very much like the bumblebee stripe that was on our Challenger. If you recall back then, it was a painted on stripe. This is painted on. So what we have to do is we have to mask everything off that we don't want black, that we want to remain yellow, and end up with this perfect oval that fits the power bulge of the 72 Charger. We're going to use our application gel so that we can put this on. Remember, the center's open, so I don't need to get as crazy. I just need to get wherever this is going to be going. Phoenix Graphics now makes a stencil. It's made of actual stencil material, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this just like a decal, but it doesn't have nearly the adhesion value of an actual decal. So now that I got the actual masking down, I need to scuff this area. Your paint will not stick if you don't scuff it. Don't do none of this weird Daren crap. Keep it flat. Change light, change angles. Make sure you scuff right up against that line. So when I'm done applying the stencil and it's all dry, we paint our black. Once we pull all the masking paper off, this stencil will come with it and it'll leave us a beautifully well-centered, correct V21 blackout on the hood. You know, normally at Graveyard Cars, we try to stick to cars that are either in really, really bad shape so that we can do a major transformation on them, or extremely rare and valuable cars that people have had over the years that want restored. In the case of the little 72 Charger for Jim and Mitzi, it isn't any of those. It's not a super high dollar car, it's a 318. It is a rally car and it's got good colors. And it's a neat car. I love all cars and it's a neat car. But really what motivated me to take that car on was the call I got from Mitzi. She called me up a while back, says my dad is in his early 80s. He bought this car brand new. He special ordered it with a 318, although it's a full rally package car, because he wanted to be able to take us kids all over the country. Take them to Niagara Falls, take them across country, do the whole Sparky Griswold thing, the vacation. We had a heavy workload when we brought it in. But I felt that it was the right thing to do. A lot of times what I do to run my business is I go off of my gut level value system. And if my gut says do it, I usually am right about it. At the end of the day, if you do what you believe is to be the right thing to do, the real value is in knowing you did the right thing. And I think that's something that people lose sight of. I never will. I will always do what I consider to be the right thing. Now that we got the V21 blackout sprayed on our 1972 Dodge Charger for Jim and Mitzi, we can move in the other 1972 Dodge Charger SE factory GY8 gold leaf poly car and start spraying color on it. We're getting ready to start disassembling the 1969 Dodge Charger from the Dukes of Hazzard movie.
Lift it up!
Daren, would you stop that? The vehicle I'm driving is a 1970. The first 5 characters of the VIN are JS29U. Standard equipment on this model is a molding group, overhead consolette, leather front bucket seats, and a dress-up rear finish panel. What am I driving? This is the 1970 Dodge Challenger RT SE 440 Magnum, one of 733 ever made. That's Mopar. We are hustling to get 3 cars disassembled and ready to go to the dipper. The 70 Challenger Twin Sister RT is done, the 68 Charger 6-cylinder is done, and now we get to dive into the legendary General Lee. Before we can jump into old number 1, Royal and I have to go out and take a look at some real estate around town that may be the future home for Graveyard Cars. Meanwhile, I have Derek back at the shop prepping to paint the 1970 Plymouth Superbird. One of my primary jobs at Graveyard Cars, besides torturing and assaulting people and finding new ways of putting them down and keeping them down, which I take very seriously, is to make sure that we don't end up burning time that we don't have. So for example, you got Mike Hill's 1970 Plymouth Superbird. It is ready for paint. And that's just a few things that I have to do. One is I have to look at that car over and over again, feel it with my hands, and make sure that it's flat and ready to paint. I've done that. It's go time. My buddy over in Eugene that runs a real estate company called up. I gave him a list of criteria that I had to have met. Don't send me on a goose chase. I don't want to go look at something unless it meets all of these. He called and said he has one that does meet it, so hopefully it turns out to be the right shop for us.
Wow. It's a big building. That all open inside?
I don't know, I haven't been in yet, but it looked like it in the thing he emailed me. They just did all this like 3 years ago for somebody.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the other company that was in here needed it blacktopped, so they extended it out that way. Not to sound like a broken record, but the fact is, we're taking a chance every day of damaging cars. We need more room. I don't have deep pockets. I can't go out and buy a brand new building or have one built for me. So I'm gonna have to find the right one that's affordable that I can fix up like we do our old cars, okay? It's gonna be a lot of work, but moving cars around inside of a shop where there's no room to move them and running the risk of doing damage to them and going backwards instead of forwards, which is what we should be doing, is gonna be worth the initial investment that it's gonna take to make this move.
What are you going to do with all this room?
I'm gonna fill it up with cars, dead cars, and then we're gonna bring them back to life. You see the show Graveyard Cars? It's on Velocity every Tuesday night at like 9 p.m. Eastern.
I haven't seen it. I don't have cable.
Help me, Lord. Let's look inside.
Well, once again, it's Daren and myself left to do all the work together. And Mark and Royal are off looking at some new building or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, they're gone. They're not here. They're playing patty cake. And now we're getting the tires pumped up on the General Lee car. And, you know, we're gonna get this puppy wheeled around to the other side, get it up on the bend pack. And if they don't return here soon, Daren and I are just gonna start disassembling this thing on our own. Lift it up!
The realtor said there's no power, but he opened it all up so we can see. So I see Royal building a service counter. This doesn't need to be this close. I mean, if we did something, we'd need to, I mean, it's got a lot of remodel, all the offices.
Didn't you just do that?
Yep.
Didn't we just do that? The office area, it looks quite functional, although I see a lot of remodel in my future. Holy mackerel.
The shop is huge.
Holy
Again,
mackerel.
perfect, yeah. That's a monster. It's 200 feet long,
Oh!
50 feet wide.
It echoes. Holy
then-
mackerel, look at that.
Yep. Yeah, in the brochure, it had a 6-ton overhead bridge crane, and it looks like it goes all the way to the end.
The inside of the building is huge. There's like a 30, 40-foot ceiling. There's a 6-ton crane in the ceiling. We can lift anything with that. We can lift 2 cars, 3 cars with that.
That's what I wanted.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. All covered.
Wow.
Every one of the good cars is waiting to go through.
That's got to be 100 by 40.
Probably. It's about dead middle of the building.
Yep.
Wow. That's great.
Tilt your forks, Josh.
I can't tilt it anymore.
There you go.
Gee.
You know, when we needed help again, Mark was not anywhere to be found. I found out later he'd went to look at a new building. He should maybe, you know, take care of the building he's got right now instead of looking for a new building.
This thing's done. We're not using this. We're gonna push it the old-fashioned way. If you don't want to help, go home. God, I get so sick and tired of you condescending old sons of b****s, man. What you want to do is sit and complain. Nah, nah, nah.
When you get to be about 45 like myself, your body starts to have aches and pains and whatnot. Josh just doesn't have those aches and pains yet, so it doesn't bother him. And wisdom has not kicked in yet for Josh, so he's still operating on just strength. This is the hardest way we could have done this in the world, isn't it?
Just cut it to the left, Daren.
Trying, okay, buddy. Okay. Thank you. Turkey in the straw, hi tuckahaw. Turkey in the hay, hi tucka hey oh hi oh. Turkey in the straw.
Sing it again. Wave at him.
Oh, turkey in the straw.
Definitely you could build your engines in here, put your equipment, put your brake lathe, put all your small, like the Mr. Moparts, nuts and bolts. Instead of having them in that little closet where we got them now, we can line them along the walls. I really hope that this place works out. It does have the square footage that we're looking for. It has more than enough of the blacktop with all the drains and the basins and the fencing. All the things that I normally have to do are already in. I think that a building like that would allow me to be able to get my ultimate goal, which was to reproduce the assembly line. That's something I think this shop, because of the shape and the size and the square footage of it, has the potential to be that shop.
In 1971, Plymouth introduced a new grill for the Cuda. What nickname did it earn? Potato peeler, cheese grater, or ice cream scoop? The answer coming up after the break. What was the nickname given to the 71 Cuda grill? The correct answer is cheese grater. Sporting a grill, a very similar shape to a cheese grater, and featuring a 4-headlight system, these features were only available for 1 year. And that made the 71 Cuda one of the most desirable cars of the era.
Visit graveyardcars.com to learn more. We got 2 out of the 3 cars disassembled. That only leaves the General Lee. Derek got the Superbird painted superbly. Robert and I laid out the graphics on the hood of the 72 Dodge Charger. And if Josh and Daren actually got some work done on the General Lee, this could be our best week yet. Why is the car not apart? Why is the car not apart? And why haven't... You know, I was hoping by the time Royal and I got back from looking at the building that Dumb and Dumber would have had the car moved around on the rack, up in the air, and actually disassembled, or at least partially disassembled.
He did not want to use the forklift and bring it over here, so we had to push it over by hand.
Yeah, that forklift that we have,
No,
that's
we
going
could
to
use
kill
it.
somebody, man.
We could use it. We use it
No, we
anytime.
could not.
So
You're
we've been gone
stupid.
an hour, just so you know, we've been gone an hour. Well, I mean, I drive it every day, dude.
It's like
We've been
a
gone
full
an
meal
hour.
deal while you were gone.
You want to say I'm fat? Say I'm fat. Get it all
fat.
out.
You're fat.
Great. I'm overweight. I need to
And
eat
you're
a
a
salad.
bully,
We got problems. Me and
You look
Royal.
like a turd. You look like a turd floating in the toilet.
Yeah.
He's got a mole on his face.
Yeah, this is great. But let's not forget, you've had the thing for an hour and you haven't even started working on it yet. In addition to getting it moved around and up in the air, there's things they could have done without us there. I mean, they could have got the torch out and lined up and ready, figure out what needs to be cut off, what needed to be unbolted, what parts we're going to save, what parts we aren't going to save, at least get some kind of a build plan. Do you understand that they're going to be down here to pick up this car and the other car like Friday or Saturday?
For what?
Then
How come you
to have
never-
them dipped?
Why didn't you think of that before now?
Because we have to look at other things.
Why are you
we were
yelling?
looking at you.
No.
You've had the car. Yeah,
Why are
they've
you
had the
stuttering?
freaking car over here for an hour while we're out there looking at a piece of property so we can grow the business. How am I going to grow the business with business? Business with you
with a
in
B, not a P.
subordinates.
When you get all of us in a room together, there's going to be conflict. And it's easy for Mark to rile Josh up. And then Mark always gets Royal going also. Me, I'm usually the calm one.
You down. Leave those. You guys.
What did I do?
No, Royal, you've done it. What do you mean, what did you do?
What do you guys do?
You just stay there.
Where are we supposed to go?
You two. Give me your microphone.
Seriously?
Give me your microphone. Turn it off. I'm a motivator, and that's what I do. I motivate people through words and through, emotions. It's my primary job to make sure that everybody is hitting at 100% on all 8 cylinders. So to pull them aside and give them a little bit of, we can do this kind of thing, it's worked in the past.
Mark wanted to have a tune-up talk with us, so he takes us over in the corner and starts chastising everyone except myself. He said, Royal and Josh, you need to be more like Daren and not be a troublemaker. He said, look at Daren for leadership and not himself, to be more like me. And everything seemed to go pretty good after that.
What exactly did you say to them?
Oh, well, exactly what I said was that the next guy that gets out of line, I'm going to shove a fistful of Mentos up his ass and give him a Diet Coke enema. So, and don't, try to make that some violent thing that... So now we're getting ready to start disassembling the 1969 Dodge Charger from the Dukes of Hazzard movie. This is the actual freeway launch car. This is a really cool, it's got a great backstory on it. On the General Lee, there's things that I definitely want to save. The bottom of the trunk lid was signed by some of the team that I think built the car. I got to find out what all the autographs are that are on it. But I want to save that, at least the inner structure. If the outside of the lid is bad, then we'll save the inner structure and clear over the names, because that's an important part of history. Hazzard Productions had actually ordered the car to be built by a gentleman back in the Midwest. This particular car has some reinforcements in it so that it would have survived that big jump that you see at the end of the movie. We're going to try to take those out carefully, clean them up, straighten them out, and put them back in as the car's getting restored. So right now, this is kind of a fun part. We've been looking forward to doing it for a while, and the guys are actually in a really good mood, and everybody's getting along really well right now. So looks like a new day at Graveyard Carz. Daren, will you stop that? No, what the f is wrong with you? Get away from me with that foolishness. You know I got arthritis. We tore down a Challenger, a Charger, and found a new shop. Painted the V21 black out on the 72 Charger. Got parts painted for the 72 Charger SE, as well as painted Mike Hill's Superbird. All that is left to finish is the teardown on the General Lee and get these 3 cars off to the dipper. Let's get the rear end out of it. Let's get the seats out of it. I don't know how those seats are bolted in. Those are not the original seats. They're probably welded in. This is the General Lee, the actual car that was used in the movie with Jessica Simpson and the other 2 clowns, right? This is the one that they had to shoot. If you watch the end of the DVD, you'll see that they actually created this catapult for it so that they could get the length, height, and distance out of the jump. It holds the record as the longest jump of any General Lee in the history of both the television show and the movie. This is an American icon. I would challenge you to go out and find any vehicle anywhere in any country that is more recognizable, more branded than the 01 on the side of the General Lee. You got to be careful when you're using a torch in tight places. That's what was happening there with the torsion bars, is you're inside of a pocket, there's no room to move around. So I'm trying to cut this thing. The oxygen and the acetylene blow up and blow back at you, and then that causes a miniature explosion. That's why I was taking these spark showers. The average guy would have all this protective stuff on. I have my Bolets on just because my eyes are invaluable. They're the best set of eyes in the world when it comes to restoring Chrysler muscle cars. So what we do at Graveyard Carz is we're bringing back dead American muscle cars to life again. So for me, being the Chrysler muscle car guru, the restoration technician that the world looks to for the answers, I should be the guy that's putting that car together. It might sound a little bit arrogant, but I think I've earned a certain amount of arrogance, okay? Everybody wants to do the cars that are nice condition when you start with and they got a little bit of rust. Nobody wants to take on the stuff that we take on. The cars that have been at the bottom of a ravine or a manure pile all of its life, completely disassembled and destroyed, nothing left except a dash tag and a fender tag and a couple of door handles. If we're willing to put those together, we should be able to put something iconic, something legendary together like the General Lee. Oh man, everything's bent right in the way.
Oh no.
Daren, will you stop that?
Daren, what the?
No, what the is wrong with you?
Yeah, hold still. Don't.
Where do we start?
No, what is wrong with you, really? A guy's trying to take the front suspension out, and you're trying to tip the car. You know, that's... You understand that.
What'd you do with the torch earlier?
You sick bastard.
Did anybody get hurt?
You sick? You're sick.
Oh no.
Hang on, Rollo. Go up a little bit. Right there. I think they did. I think that son of a is welded in there. The front bolts, when I took the front bolts of the K-member out, I noticed it didn't drop at all. That made me suspicious. Well, it turns out, on top of everything else being welded, they actually welded the K-member to the frame rails. So the most dangerous part right now will be cutting those welds loose and hopefully not dropping the engine on your hand, because you got to have it up in the air a little bit to be able to get onto it with a torch. So
Very close.
yep, got it.
Hold it. Can you roll that forward?
Well, what? See, Mark just wanted to ruin a car. Get away.
Watch out, man. He's a crazy man.
Well, he wanted to cut the car. You know, I know that the Dukes of Hazzard car is the most recognized Mopar in the world. So I think here at Graveyard Carz, we're lucky to be able to work on that particular car.
No, I was going to cut the coupler, you idiot. They make new couplers. You're so stupid.
Let's go with a roll, right?
Iceman. I don't know. We're getting close now, though. We're just finishing on the probably 45 minutes.
I think it's loose.
Loose now.
This is American culture. Half of the country that's alive today grew up watching this stuff. The other half remember that their kids watched it. This is a neat opportunity for Graveyard Carz. I'm very excited that the owner chose us to bring this car back to life again, and we're having a great deal of fun with it. All right, man. Thanks.
Very nice, huh?
Got it. Catherine Street.
You got it?
20,000 square feet, 2.5 acres of blacktop, all fenced, all improved, drainage in. Been talking to my buddy, the realtor over in Eugene. He just finally got an email from the people that own the Catherine Street property we're in. This is awesome. 20,000 square foot building. It's an old building. It needs fixed up like our cars do. I'm doing an interview here. I'm not a fat cat. I'm not rich like Daren, where my parents give me everything, so I can't just go out and buy a brand new building. I got to get an older one and fix it up, but it's going to be beautiful. I've already got plans for it. I get the keys tomorrow. We'll be happy, you freak.
It's going to be a bigger shop, more places for Josh to lose all the parts and pieces to all the cars. So we're going to have a harder time finding the parts and pieces to the cars. And we have a harder time keeping an eye out on Josh and Mark.
We are happy.
This is us being happy. We've been beat down so long.
We'll move it up.
Yeah. Every time we
20,000
get.
square feet. Get away from me with that foolishness.
I'm
you know
more
I got
interested.
arthritis.
Throttle spring brackets.
You don't act like it.
What's this?
I'm not hurting you. Don't
Here, I
swing
need.
at me.
Yeah, I'm excited about the building. I'm not excited about all the work it's going to take to get there, but I'm excited about the building. I didn't.
Yeah, we'll move it. Don't push him into me, you little. Pull his pants down. Pull his pants down. Get him.
Okay, enough is enough.
Be careful. I'm looking forward to a bigger and brighter future at Graveyard Carz.
Next time on Graveyard Carz, Mark finishes decals and emblems for the 72 Charger.
I got pretty crazy with the graphics in 72.
Mark starts renovations on the new home of Graveyard Carz.
This area in here is going to be the Graveyard Carz diner.
But will he get carried away?
First off, it's none of your business.
Seriously?
We finish the motor for the Walton 72 Charger. Derek knocks out the K-member, and we team up to put it all back together in the top banana beast, as long as nothing goes wrong.
You son of a...
You have a gun?
Coming up next time on Graveyard Carz.